Hello and welcome to NCTV episode 99, which is all about fibromyalgia and the myths and misconceptions surrounding it. Firstly, fibromyalgia is a term you might have come across quite a few times, especially if you or someone you know experiences unexplained pain, fatigue or other symptoms. With so much information and misinformation floating around, it's easy to get confused. One of the most common misconceptions is that fibromyalgia is an autoimmune disease. In this video, we'll break down what an autoimmune disease is, what current research says about fibromyalgia, and address some of the myths that often confuse the picture. So to start with, what is an autoimmune disease? At its core, an autoimmune disease is like our body's security team. It's always on the lookout for harmful invaders and viruses and bacteria ready to defend us, but sometimes the system gets a bit mixed up and instead of just targeting the bad guys, it attacks our own body cells. Think of it like a security guard who mistakenly thinks a friend or neighbour is a threat. This mistaken attack by our immune system on our own body is what we call an autoimmune response. And when this happens repeatedly, leading to damage or dysfunction of certain organs or tissues, we term it an autoimmune disease. There are many types of autoimmune diseases, each affecting different parts of the body. For instance, rheumatoid arthritis affects the joints, while multiple sclerosis affects the nervous system. In terms of the current research, fibromyalgia is a bit of a medical mystery. Unlike conditions like rheumatoid arthritis or lupus, fibromyalgia doesn't show visible signs of inflammation in the body. Instead, it's characterised by widespread pain, fatigue and other symptoms that can vary from person to person. For a long time, many in the medical community were baffled by fibromyalgia. Some even questioned as to whether it was a legitimate condition or not. Thankfully, with advancements in research, we now understand it better, though many aspects do remain under investigation. One of the leading theories is that fibromyalgia is related to the brain and spinal cord and how it processes the signals. It's like the volume knob on pain perception is turned up too high. So things that shouldn't hurt much or at all can feel quite painful to someone with fibromyalgia. While some early studies explore the possibility of fibromyalgia being an autoimmune condition, most current research suggests otherwise. There's no evidence to show that the immune system attacks the body's tissues in fibromyalgia as it does in autoimmune diseases. Moreover, fibromyalgia doesn't cause a joint deformity or organ damage that many autoimmune diseases do. However, it's worth noting that fibromyalgia can coexist with an autoimmune disease, and this overlap can sometimes lead to confusion in diagnosis and understanding. But it's crucial to remember that having one doesn't necessarily mean that you have the other. Now to address those myths that need busting. Myth number one, fibromyalgia isn't a real condition. The truth is, it's very much a real and recognised medical condition. While it may have been misunderstood or even dismissed in the past, extensive research and patient experiences have solidified its legitimacy. Myth two, only women get fibromyalgia. Whilst fibromyalgia is more common in women, men can and do get it too. It's essential not to overlook or dismiss symptoms in anyone based on gender. Myth 3, fibromyalgia is just about pain. And while pain is a primary symptom, fibromyalgia can also cause fatigue, sleep disturbances, cognitive difficulties, often referred as fibrofog, and even mood disorders. Myth 4, it's all in your head. Fibromyalgia is not a psychological condition, though it can have psychological effects. The pain and other symptoms are real and can be debilitating. Myth 5, if you have fibromyalgia, you shouldn't exercise. While it might seem counterintuitive, regular gentle exercise can help manage fibromyalgia symptoms. Activities like walking, swimming or yoga can be beneficial, but it's essential to listen to your body and not overdo it. Myth 6, fibromyalgia is an autoimmune disease. As we've covered, current research suggests that fibromyalgia is not an autoimmune disease. It doesn't show the typical signs of the immune system attacking the body's tissues. And finally, myth 7, there's a one-size-fits-all treatment for fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia affects everyone differently, and what works for one person doesn't always work for another. Treatment is often a combination of medication, therapy, lifestyle changes, and other interventions tailored to the individual. Remember, understanding fibromyalgia is the first step towards managing it effectively. If you or someone you know is dealing with this condition, it's important to seek guidance from a healthcare professional such as myself, who are familiar with the latest research and treatment options. And that's it for this week's bite-sized bit to help your health flourish. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.